Self-motivation. What is it? How do we get more of it? And what pop culture analogy am I going to use to illustrate my point? Well, I guess you'll see. Alright, to talk about self-motivation, we're going to use one of the greatest shows in TV history as an example. Star Trek. Nope, not that Star Trek. Nope, not that one either. Nope. Oh, come on, seriously? There we go, the original, from the 60s. Now, if you aren't familiar, it's this awesome TV show about these space explorers who are from the future, but for some reason still use flip phones. Now, the two main characters are Spock, a really boring space elf whose entire job is to find things fascinating.
Fascinating, 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 fascinating.
And of course, Kirk, the ship's captain, who's a good leader but has a really strange relationship with alien women. Remember how I said James Bond wouldn't have survived the Me Too movement? Neither would Kirk.
Mr. Spock, the women on your planet are logical. That's the only planet in this galaxy that can make that claim.
Now, Captain Kirk is an example of someone who is very self-motivated. And by the way, self-motivation is just the internal force that drives you to do things. Just so we're on the same page. And Kirk seems to have a lot of self-motivation. He is very determined to solve every problem, and he insists on doing it in a hands-on way. For example, he could easily just send his crew out on these dangerous missions, but now Kirk wants to go with them. Even if that puts him at risk for getting shot at, or getting attacked, or getting into what appears to be the slowest fistfight in TV history. Yeah, that's Kirk. No one orders him to do it, he just does it.
It's time for action, gentlemen.
Now, let's figure out how you could be self-motivated like that.
1. Who has control?
Now, it's not really my thing, but people are really into these wildlife nature documentary shows. You know those shows where you get really great looking footage of just animals being animals? It's kind of like reality TV, but somehow it has more humanity. And while we're all over here stoned on our couch watching a weird bird do a fucked up mating dance, what we don't normally think about is the film crew that has to go out and capture all that footage, and what they have to go through. They have to get close to predators, they have to hang out in the Arctic. These guys had to wear goofy panda suits so as not to scare the pandas they were filming. Don't mind me, I'm just an average panda here. Just getting some footage. Now, these film crews are generally expected to follow some unwritten code of ethics, which says that even if an animal is in danger or dying, and you could do something to save it, don't. You are not allowed to interfere with nature. So they'll just keep filming something right up until its death. Like if they were filming The Lion King, they would have just let Mufasa fall into the canyon. Now, I'm not saying they're bad people. I don't blame them. I know they have their reasons for doing it that way. But I'd be terrible at that job. I'd be trying to rescue animals left and right. You'd be calling me Captain Save-A-Crow. Because I believe what Spider-Man believes. If you have the power to help, you should try to. Now, pay attention, class, because we're about to learn some new terms. A lot of your self-motivation comes from whether or not you have what's called an internal locus of control. Now, people who base their success on their own abilities and believe that they control their life have an internal locus of control. Now, people who believe that their success is all luck or all fate have an external locus of control.
Fascinating.
So if you work hard your whole life and you finally get promoted to, I don't know, captain of the Enterprise, as long as you believe it's your hard work that got you there, that's an internal locus of control. And research suggests that people who have a higher internal locus of control are more self-motivated. They tend to work harder and push themselves more because they believe their actions will have a direct effect on the outcome. So, you want to be more self-motivated? Then you've got to adopt this mentality that you are responsible for your success. Yes, you. You don't want to be a wildlife photographer that absolutely has the power to do something but chooses not to. That mentality works for their industry, but it will not work for your success. So you have to understand that you have control.
2. What's the end game?
If you ask me to name some well-known Italians, I'd probably say something like Christopher Columbus, or Mussolini, or Marco Polo. But I think the most well-known Italian might just be this guy.
It's me.
Actually, I'm not even sure if Mario is Italian, but I could have sworn I saw him on Jersey Shore one time.
STD.
Now, back in the 80s, yes, that's me, one of the first games my brother and I ever owned was Super Mario Brothers. Which you know is just a simple fantasy game where Mario kicks the shit out of a bunch of turtles in hopes of rescuing a princess. In fact, if you play Super Mario backwards, it's about a guy who leaves his wife and then his life gradually gets easier. But there's one thing that Mario can teach us. In all of those old games, he has a clear goal. Rescue the princess. That's it. That's his ultimate objective. And it's clear and it's simple. Now, a goal is important because it focuses your effort. I mean, look at Mario. His efforts are so focused, he can literally only run in one direction, and that's towards his goal. And yeah, research suggests that goal setting is linked to higher achievement. You don't want to know how many people I talk to who are like,
Yo, I'm gonna do big things, man. Real big things.
oh, cool. Like what?
Things that are big? Man, shut up!
All you have to do is ask yourself, what do I want out of this? And that answer is your goal.
3. Why though?
You guys are familiar with Game of Thrones, right? It's a TV series with sword fights and dragons and a shitload of characters. No, I mean a shitload of characters. No, I mean a shitload of characters. I still don't even know who half of them are or what they do. But one of the standout characters is Daenerys, aka Khaleesi, aka Mother of Dragons, aka the chick with the hair that looked like ramen noodle. Now, like Super Mario, she has a very concise goal. Her goal is to claim the Iron Throne.
I was born to rule the 7 kingdoms. And I will.
Will you really, though? Now, Daenerys doesn't just want this to happen, she believes it is her destiny. And we know because she says it like 1,400 times.
That is my destiny.
Yeah, we know. See, Super Mario absolutely has a goal, but we don't really know why he's willing to risk his life over and over again to save the princess. Like, didn't they just meet 5 minutes ago? Jeez, these kids and their Tinder dates. So I imagine in real life, his motivation wouldn't last very long. But Daenerys, on the other hand, has a very apparent reason why she does what she does. She believes it's her destiny. Now, I don't want you to go off and start believing in destiny because, well, destiny's bullshit. And it also falls under External Locus of Control. But I do want you to be more self-motivated, which means you can't just give yourself a goal, you have to give yourself a strong reason why you want to reach that goal. And keep asking yourself why until you get to the root of it. So if your goal is to lose 10 pounds, you can't be like,
I want to lose weight because it would be good for me, I guess.
see, that's not very strong. You need to figure out why. Why do you want to lose 10 pounds?
So maybe girls will find me attractive?
Great, but why? Why do you want girls to find you attractive?
Because I want to go on dates and stuff?
Great, but why do you want to go on dates?
Because I'm lonely?
Right, there it is. You want to lose weight because you're feeling lonely. That's pretty strong. And if you have to choose between going to the gym and feeling lonely all the time, you're probably going to go to the gym. You see my point?
No, not really.
That's why the why is so important. The stronger your why is, the more motivated you're going to be.
Now let's make it happen.
All right, so now you have all 3 parts. So if you want to be more self-motivated, you have to have a goal, you have to have a strong reason why you want that goal, and you have to believe that you are 100% in charge of getting yourself there. And that if you win, it's because you got off your ass and made it happen. It's kind of like what Captain Kirk once famously said.
In every revolution, there's one man with a vision.
I hope this helps.
Guys, I hope this helps. In this episode, I talked about what motivation is. In episode 9, the next episode, I'll talk more about how to accomplish a bit more in your life. Because above anything else, I want you to achieve your goals. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you next Monday. I'm responding to comments on Facebook and Instagram, so you know what
I'm
to
like the
do.
McRib. I'm gonna do what I do, no matter what you say. I'm living my life, Okfei, ooh yay. I guess that every Superman has a doomsday. I'm living my life, Okfei, ooh yay. I can take a loss, and I can handle rejection. I just wanna have an effect like Rush